This is Stock Bro from the Bro Pit. Tired as hell because it's earnings season and coming to you quickly with something that I wanted to discuss because I was chatting with somebody who did not sell their GameStop when they had owned $50,000 to $60,000 at GameStop and their position was worth over $1 million and they didn't sell it. They were waiting for the big squeeze. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the big squeeze has happened already. As my friend joked, she was like, Brian, I don't think the big squeeze has happened. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, that was 450 was around. That to me was a big squeeze. But anyway, who knows? But the point is this. They should have sold at 250. They should have sold at 300. You never knock a profit. You're never going to pick the top and you're never going to buy at the bottom. And if you think that you are, well, you're just going to be lucky if you do. Because no one ever knows. And if they did, there wouldn't be an opportunity. So, that said, I have found throughout years of trading, and I've been trading since, properly trading since 2005. 2002, actually. 2005 is when I was living in London. So I can tell you this, when you're trading your portfolio, there is going to come a time when the market is having a tear. The market is on a tear here. If you're a day trader and you're not working for a fund that restricts you in your trading, like for example, when I worked for my hedge fund at Shaw, I had a 30-day period where I could not, if I bought, I had to wait 30 days before I could sell. So that was restrictive, and that would actually, and of course that would factor into what I was doing. But if you're a day trader and you can be in and out, I'm here to say that if you get to the point where the joy that you derive from making money starts to abate and you plateau. For example, you open up your mind, oh my God, I made $10,000, and then you open it again and again, and then you're like, oh my God, I just made another 5,000. And then you open it and you've made another, say 10,000. You're like, I don't really feel much from that 10 grand. Why is that? That's $10,000. Like, that's so much money. That's because you basically have sort of plateaued on that. But I like to think that feeling is your sell signal. That's your personal sell signal. That is your brain, that is your body, your emotions telling you, and think of it however you want. But I have found that every time that's happened, it's been right before a big correction or a big sell-off in the market. And usually that means because the market's gotten a bit frothy. When you start to feel that, that usually means that you've had, back-to-back, rallies. If you're long, if you're only long in long stocks, you're going to have back-to-back rallies where it's like, wow, or your stock, you just picked the right stocks, whatever the case may be. When it gets to the point where it starts to feel ridiculous, where you almost feel like it's monopoly money, I'm serious. I'd be like, oh, this is the monopoly money signal I'm feeling. I can't tell you the guys that I traded with, my colleagues on the trading floor, I would say to them, I told you, I'm like, oh my God, guys, I feel bored. I just opened my portfolio, I made money today, and it feels like nothing. I feel like I'm an emotionally crippled, that's what I'm trying to say. It was always like, then I'd be like, didn't I tell you? Wasn't I just saying to you yesterday that like I didn't feel anything? And now look, we just had like a 2%, 3%, 4 or 5% correction. It was always the case. So this is it. I just want to say, when you get a little bored of making money, sell. You'll always have an opportunity to get back in. I sound like Jim Cramer now. You'll always have an opportunity to get back in. But no, seriously, you will. And you might not get an opportunity to get it at the level that you sold it if it just, runs away. That's okay. But I'll tell you this, that the bad feeling that you have from watching profits tank, right, is a lot worse than that incremental, than the good feeling you feel from making incrementally more money, if that makes sense. For example, if you're here and you're like, oh, and you're kind of in that stage where you've plateaued, another 5% isn't going to make you feel much. But guess what? If you're sitting there and then it dips 5%, you're going to feel like shit. And you're going to beat yourself up. And you're going to be like, I should have did this. So that's what I'm saying. That bad feeling is going to be a lot greater relative to the good feeling on a move similar to the upside. That's it. I won't go on for too long. That's just me trying to give you a little bit of what I've learned over the years as far as taking profits and being happy with those profits and sleeping at sleeping at night and not beating yourself up, because you're never gonna always do it right. And sometimes, there's so much around the corner that you're not gonna foresee. There's so many geopolitical events and there's so much market risk out there that you just can't, you can't foresee it. Who could foresee COVID, for example? So just know, if you're doing your best to be as prudent and as, and you're just going by, just listen to your gut. That's all I'm saying. Listen to it, because there's a reason that you're getting that feeling. And I've learned over the years that if I listened to it more often than not, I'd have made more money. All right, goodbye and good luck. That's it for today.